Hi, I'm Nancy Eigel-Miller, and I'm the Executive Director of 1 in 5. And we have with us today Susan Sheldon, who is the Executive Director of MindPeace. Susan, thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Nancy. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about school-based therapy.
So schools that are part of the MindPeace network have a lead mental health partner. And that mental health partner has therapists that come to work every day at the school. And if you look on the MindPeace website, if anyone is, wondering if their school has a partner, you can look on the homepage of www.mindpeacecincinnati.com, and you can double check that. So the partner has a therapist, or sometimes more than one therapist, that comes to the school. Their office is at the school, just like the school counselor or the school psychologist. And they see kids who need treatment always with the permission of the parent.
How does the payment for that work?
So the payment is through the parent's insurance, and that could be Medicaid, the public insurance, or private insurance. And sometimes if that of a specific type of insurance isn't accepted, then the team can help the parent find a different provider to help them and their child.
And are there a lot of parents, does everybody have insurance, or are there some people that don't have insurance that you have to try alternatives?
So there may be some families who are working and they have private insurance, but they may be surprised that they also qualify for Medicaid. And so it's a great benefit, and there's no reason not to apply for that if you think you could. There are some people that have insurance through the exchange, and they also may qualify for Medicaid in addition. But if for some reason a family doesn't fit with, the plan, or they don't have insurance, then we work with the school and MindPeace to try to help some kind of a different situation, a different alternative to care.
Right now, is everyone able to be seen, or is the need higher than what we have therapists in buildings?
We've been hearing about this, and you all, 1 in 5 has been doing a great job shining a spotlight on this, but the need is just so intense right now following the pandemic. And just like your name, says, before the pandemic, 1 in 5 children and adolescents had a need for services. And now the need is even greater. So depending on the school, there could be a wait list. So some schools have a wait list and some schools do not. If there is a wait list, though, then MindPeace is helping find therapists in the community that could help instead. And we're using either telehealth, or maybe an in-person appointment at the office, or some other kind of creative solution to just make sure kids get care. Because really, that's what we care about the most, right? Is if you need mental health treatment, that you get that treatment. And it may not be your first choice as far as the location, school-based, but if you can still get it in a different way, that's the most important thing for your child. We were really lucky because we collaborated with Cincinnati Children's Hospital, who had originally a great database for all the mental health providers in the greater Cincinnati community for mental health treatment for kids ages say 2 all the way to young adults ages 25. And so these are private practitioners or larger agencies, but all those providers. And so Cincinnati Children said, we can't really keep this database up to date. Could you do this MindPeace? So we have it on our website, and it's searchable. So you can put in as much or as little information as you have. And it's searchable also on location. So if you want a female therapist, if you would like an African-American therapist, if you would like, if you have Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield or Medicaid or whatever, you can put all that in, and you say, gosh, I only want within 5 miles of this location. Then it will search the database, and then you can get all the answers now, it doesn't mean you don't have to call. So if you need extra help, you can also call the MindPeace office, which is 513-803-0844. And a staff member can work with a family one-on-one confidentially.
Awesome.
And so, we have families sometimes that have complicated financial or personal situations, and they need a little extra help finding that appointment. So
that's amazing. That's such a great service to our community.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It's been really helpful right now with the workforce shortage that's been going on in the mental health treatment area really across the whole country. So the fact that we have that database and can be searching, it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what happens if school-based isn't the answer for your child?
So there are other options. If school-based isn't the right fit for your family, then there's an office-based possibility for mental health treatment. And then telehealth is also a possibility, depending on the age of your child and whether you think that's a good fit, and also whether you have the space in your home to make sure that there's confidential space, so that you can have a private conversation with the therapist. It can work really well. So there are different possibilities depending on what works best for a family.
Is there anything I missed that you want to tell us?
The only thing I guess I would add is that for mental health treatment for kids, treatment starts with an assessment, and a therapist assesses a child and takes like medical history and talks with the family about what, challenges that they're seeing, and talks with the child about how they're feeling. And then they are able to determine a diagnosis if there is one. And then after that, they come up with a treatment plan. And so that treatment plan is really like the front door to services. So it could include therapy. It could include a recommendation for therapy and medication if the parents are comfortable with that. It also could include a higher level of care. So just like when we all go in for, if something is bothering us and it turns out to be a chronic illness, it could be that you have to go to the hospital right away because you have to get additional care. And then after you get, you're stabilized, then you get regular care going on. And so I think that there's a kind of a misnomer about how care looks if you've never had to go into mental health treatment. But the therapist is really the front door. It's a great front door to the assessment and the treatment plan, and then obviously therapy. And some kids only need therapy. Some kids need a combination of therapy and medicine. And then some kids need higher level of care, but that's how it all starts. So you don't have to start with a psychiatrist. And the other piece is that your pediatrician can be a great resource. And there's been some great training in our community by Cincinnati Children's Hospital to be able to help treat depression and anxiety disorder, for instance, or ADHD through the pediatrician's office with, again, recommendation for therapists if you need them. So I think in Cincinnati, we're lucky we have a really good system. It's being stretched right now, but we have a good system. So if a child needs medication, is it normally the pediatrician that addresses that with the family, or do they normally go out to a psychiatrist out in the community? It depends on the diagnosis, I would say. So the pediatrician, if they feel comfortable, can prescribe. So I think we're seeing a lot of pediatricians being able to prescribe. They're very confident about it around ADHD, around anxiety disorder if medication is needed. So a pediatrician can be really, really helpful. Also, some practices have nurse practitioners who specialize in psychiatry, and they can be wonderful. And often they are part of the team for school-based mental health treatment that come to the schools, and parents can, Zoom in or come in person for some of the appointments. And then you have your psychiatrist, which for some kids, it's best that they see a child psychiatrist, not an adult psychiatrist, a child board certified psychiatrist.
Well, thank you for all the amazing work that you do in our community. Why don't you tell us how many schools you're in? I think that a lot of parents might be surprised by that.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're in, I guess, just about 200 schools now across 23 school districts. And some of our schools are private schools. They're, public schools, small, suburban, large, urban, so all kinds of schools. And we are really proud that we have 19 mental health organizations that are partnered with us, and they really do amazing work. And their whole team, with all the school, everyone's so committed to making sure kids get the care they need. And we love working with 1 in 5. You guys are awesome. And it's really about making people comfortable about talking about mental health and being well and getting kids into treatment that need it. So thank you, Nancy.
Well, we love working with you. So thank you for being with us today. And we encourage parents to inform themselves. And if they think that their child needs that help, to address it at the school level. It makes it really convenient.
It sure does. And use that website. 1 in 5 has a great website, obviously, and so does MindPeace. So www.mindpeacecincinnati.com with the database. And then we also have our virtual MindPeace rooms too. So
that's great. Well, thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Nancy. Appreciate it.